Hello and good morning to all joining us via Zoom and our Facebook live stream. Welcome to the Center for Enlightenment's exploration of the spiritual teachings, Jewels from Jane Elizabeth. Each Sunday will be a free-flowing adventure with teachings by Jane Elizabeth Hart, facilitated by a certified Center for Enlightenment Teachers. We will be working with topics found on our website at cfenlightenment.org. Today's topic is Palm Sunday, embracing the energy of Easter week. Greg Brett will be the facilitator for this lesson. Greg is a certified teacher for the Center for Enlightenment and longtime student of Jane Hart, studying with her for over 35 years. Jane is the author of Spiritual Power Tools, Support for Your Soul, master teacher and founder of the Center for Enlightenment. Today's course will be live streamed via Facebook. A recording will be sent out with a weekly reflection so you can access it anytime. In addition to the Sunday courses, there will be a question and answer discussion on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. A link for these sessions will also be posted in the chat room. We are active on Facebook and X. Come check us out, share your thoughts, reflections, and experiences. It would also be a great support to like the postings that resonate with you. We also invite you to visit our website at cfenlightenment.org. There you will find additional self-study lessons, talks, videos, or you can search for specific topics to support your expansion in consciousness. So let's just sit back, take a deep breath, and let's begin today's journey with the prescription for spiritual alignment.
Welcome to Easter week. Easter week is a process. It's a vibration, it's an energy, it's a consciousness, but more than anything else, it's a process of unfoldment that unfolds in steps and stages. And we're going to talk about this, but we'll begin by touching in with the source, with our hearts, which really is the process of Easter week, opening our hearts. We are aligned with the presence of God within. We are protected by God's love, wisdom, knowledge, and grace. The God consciousness within helps us discover more about who we are. Thank you, God, for the gift of spiritual intuition. Thank you, God, for aligning our conscious, subconscious, and superconscious mind. Thank you for this Easter energy, this Easter week experience. Amen. So we begin with Palm Sunday, but Palm Sunday is the first step of the process that is the unfoldment of Easter. And I want you to just throw out the window all the things you were taught about Easter and Palm Sunday and Good Friday and all the religious significance, and apply this story to you, to the opening of your heart, to the quickening and awakening of your higher consciousness, that Christ consciousness in you, because that's what Easter was really about. Easter week cut an energy, a pattern in space and time, a pattern of energy that is available to you, but you've got to catch the wave. It's like catching the wave in surfing. You've got to get up on your board and you've got to ride it, but you've got to be prepared for it. I only surfed one time in my life, and it was really funny. I mean, I had such a hard time getting up on my board, but I would get ahead of it. I would get behind it. I would do this, I would do that. But one time I finally got up on the board and I stood there and I let the wave do the work, but I cooperated with it. I did my part. And in the Easter week process, there's a powerful energy that is pushing you forward, and you've got to get up and you've got to cooperate with that process. And it's a matter of keeping your balance, not going too far to the positive side or the negative side, one way or the other. And I don't want to get too intellectual with this, but there is a way to look at the Easter week process that can facilitate the awakening of your soul and the quickening of this awareness, which is truly the opening of your heart. The story of Easter week is the story of the piercing of the heart. Many people have said that Jerusalem represents the heart. Jerusalem is the heart center. It was the heart center of Israel in consciousness. That's what it symbolized. And in this symbology, this metaphor, which is very real, which is energetically real. You know, there was a Native American medicine man once who said, I don't know if it happened this way or not, but I know this story is true. And this Easter week story, we could argue whether this fact happened or that fact happened, or whether you believe in this aspect or that story, but it is true, meaning it's the truth of your being that is unfolding in this story in all of its elements, beginning with today, Palm Sunday. The piercing of your heart, the piercing of Jerusalem, was through the triumphal entry, as they call it, of Jesus into Jerusalem on the back of a donkey, which symbolizes the humility that is necessary, the teachability, the understanding that this is an unfoldment that is happening from within. And so a donkey, you think about a donkey in their culture, they were expecting the Messiah to come, maybe on a whole group of horses that would be coming in, a cavalry would be coming in, uh, because they expected a warrior king to overthrow the theocracy in Jerusalem of the king and the priests that were so corrupt, and the emperor from Rome, and all of the oppression that they were dealing with. So those people who were lined up in those streets were expecting something. They had a desire in their hearts, but it was a very primitive desire. It really wasn't exactly what panned out. In fact, it wasn't at all what panned out, but their desire was the key that allowed for the entry into that piercing of the heart of Jerusalem. And stay with me with this. As your heart is being pierced, you have to have a desire. And these people were desiring something. And here comes this teacher who wasn't political, who wasn't military, he wasn't exercising earthly power. And on top of that, he wasn't riding a horse like you'd expect. He was riding a simple donkey. He came in with humility. But the people had their expectations, they had their desire. What is the desire of your heart? Your heart is being pierced, it's ready to be pierced. This Holy Week experience that you are experiencing is the piercing of your heart as the result of desire, backed up by your commitment and your will. But first comes the desire. That's what Palm Sunday symbolizes. Good Friday is your commitment, and Easter is your will. Jane has talked about this three-step process: desire, commitment, and will. In fact, the self-study lessons on the website start with desire. The first lesson, she said, was desire, because it's got to start with that. And that's the beginning of this unfoldment of the piercing of your heart, the unfoldment of your spiritual nature, your spiritual being starts with desire. And then the second lesson is will, or is commitment, pardon me, is commitment. And commitment is that Good Friday experience, the letting go of everything that is unlike that desire, and the clearing out, the crossing out of the ego mind, the lower consciousness, the lower self. And then the will. That's the third step. And in the spiritual self-study lessons on the website, that's all the other lessons, because the process of Easter is a process of unfoldment that includes meditation and the observer self and the understanding of the soul and consciousness and karma and reincarnation and all those things. But you got to start with your desire, your desire. When Jane was 4 years old, she had a desire in her heart. That's where she says, in this lifetime, that desire was kindled. And it was when she was sitting on the piano bench next to her grandmother, who was playing the hymn In the Garden. And he walks with me and he talks with me and he tells me I am his own. And she was, at the age of 4, filled with that yearning desire, that burning desire of her heart, that she could talk with God, that she could walk with God. Now, what did the 4-year-old think? The 4-year-old's desire was just like the people in Jerusalem at that time, and just like you and me. The initial desire is very primitive because you can only desire what you can understand. And so that 4-year-old desired to be in a garden with Jesus, walking and talking with him. And she said, because she believed the hymn. Her grandmother, after all, was singing it to her. She said to her grandmother, God's going to talk to me. God's going to talk to me. And her grandmother said, oh, surely he will. But her grandmother was just placating this little 4-year-old, knowing full well that it didn't show up that way. Well, the truth was that as the desire of her heart to know God, to be aware of this incredible something would unfold, she had an idea of it that was very primitive. It was a very limited idea. How it turned out, she was going to talk to God and she was going to have this experience, but it wasn't going to look like that. The God she was going to talk to wasn't at all going to look like what she had in her mind, walking in a garden holding Jesus's hand. It was so much more than that. And it was more abstract than that. And that God was so much more than just the human understanding that she had at the age of 4. And your desire in your heart right now is good enough. Whatever it is that you're holding in your heart as a desire for your spiritual unfoldment and awakening is good enough. What you're bringing to this Holy Week, this Easter week experience is good enough. Your Palm Sunday desire, just like the people in Jerusalem, standing by the side of that road, putting down their palm branches, shouting out, save us, help us, Hosanna, overthrow the military rulers of Rome, overthrow the religious rulers of Jerusalem, overthrow all those things that oppress us, save us, Hosanna. And there's that part of you that is crying out, saying, I don't know what's going on here, but I just need some help. I've got an idea of what it is I want. I have an idea of what awakening, enlightenment, salvation is the Christian term for it, but it's way more than what could be. It doesn't have anything to do with just having an altar call. All of these understandings are just your understanding right here and now, like those people standing by the side of the road in Jerusalem. So, what is the desire of your heart? The desire of your heart is the Palm Sunday experience, and it will be tested. And so you've got to have a commitment, which is the Good Friday experience, which was a great test. Because most of the people who were standing by the side of the road saying, Hosanna, I think this is great. The children were so loud that the authorities said, tell those children to shut up. And Jesus said, and I'm telling you, if those children shut up, the stones are going to start shouting it. That exuberance of your heart, of your being, that exuberance of wanting this is so great, but it will be tested. And that's the commitment of Good Friday. But Palm Sunday is your desire, the desire of your heart to awaken. So, what is the desire of your heart? How would you put it into words? I want to know God. Good enough. I want to awaken to God. Good enough. God doesn't have anything to do with it. This has to do with my higher consciousness. I want to know myself, my higher consciousness. Good enough. Whatever language you put to it, whatever pictures you have, like that little 4-year-old girl had a picture of walking in the garden hand in hand with Jesus. Good enough. Because guaranteed, when the Easter experience comes, which is the awakening itself, it's not going to look like that. What happened a week later didn't look anything like what those people wanted. And again, a lot of those people were so disappointed in the testing experience that they stood there on Good Friday and said the exact opposite. Because You will be tested. Jane always says that you will be tested. And that is where your commitment's got to come in. But let's begin with the desire of your heart. This is all about consciousness. Easter week is about consciousness and the awakening of your consciousness. It's all about change. You are changing at the very depth of your being. In fact, this is the one fundamental change of your being, moving from human to higher Christ consciousness, moving from the ego to the soul, moving from the intellect to the intuition, moving from the lesser to the greater, from the lower to the higher, moving from that consciousness that stands by the side of the road thinking it knows what it wants, desiring that something. I just want a more. I want something more in life. It can't be just this. And that awakening starts to happen, that stirring starts to happen. And every year around this time, everyone within the realm of Christianity worldwide, a couple billion people, celebrate this Holy Week experience. And it comes in with an oomph, it comes in with a punch, it comes in with a power and an energy. It is an energy force. And you can catch the wave of this Easter experience by allowing yourself first to be aware of your desire, to strengthen your commitment, and then to use your will to back that up. And that means meditating, being in your observer self, reflecting on what does this mean for me? What is this Easter week experience? I may go to midnight mass. I may not believe any of the religious stuff. Doesn't matter. What matters is that you have a desire in your heart. So, how are you changing? What have you noticed lately? Many of us have participated in the 40-day experience of Lent where we made a commitment to ourselves, a commitment to our beingness. Well, maybe you did that, or maybe you didn't do that. Maybe right now you can do it. Doesn't matter because we're not limited by time. But how are you changing? What are the spiritual shifts that you're noticing? The moving this way or that way. What is pushing your buttons? And in a sense, getting you to change. Just notice that right now. Notice that your higher self is moving you, that there's a new vibration that is coming through. It's the Easter week vibration, and it's the wave that you can catch. Your consciousness is changing whether you're aware of it or not. Your consciousness is changing whether you realize it or even desire it. That desire of the Holy Week experience, beginning with Palm Sunday, touches all of humanity, whether or not they consider themselves to be part of Christianity or Buddhism or anything else, because it is within the collective consciousness of humankind. Your consciousness is moving right now. The Easter week energy is moving your consciousness, the consciousness of those who profess to believe in this, and the consciousness of all humanity, whether or not they believe in anything. This Easter week energy is moving us all unconsciously, but you have the additional benefit of being able to set that desire in motion consciously, and it becomes far more powerful. That is an incredible energy that you can use catching that wave so it can carry you forward. And so, what are you doing right now? What are you doing this week to bring yourself to a greater point of awareness? Jane says in her video that we're going to watch, I am thrilled because we're all moving together as a group. What group is that? It's the group of all like-minded souls who are catching this wave, who are moving forward with the desire of their hearts. She calls this a cohesive energy force, and the Center for Enlightenment provides that. Even if you're just watching this as a video, even if you're watching this in October as a video, the energy and the vibration is here. But let's let go of everything we learned about Easter or Palm Sunday or Good Friday or Holy Week or any of those things. Let's just look at this with fresh eyes, have those new wineskins into which this new spiritual energy can come, a new understanding of it. Let's look at Easter week in terms of an energy and a vibration, not a historical experience that happens to us vicariously. but something that we can feel. You can feel the energy that is here. And you can let go of the mythological story as being the most important part, although you can catch the wave by looking at the elements of that story, looking at Palm Sunday as the desire, and then the clearing away, the crossing out through having that commitment tested on Good Friday, and then the fulfillment, using your will to back up the commitment that you make to the desire of your heart. That is the Easter experience. So you could say, and I don't want to go too deep into this intellectually, but you could say the Palm Sunday experience is in the positive end of the opposites. The Good Friday experience looks like it's on the negative end of the opposites, but the two come together and rise up and synthesize. Palm Sunday, Good Friday is synthesized in Easter. Easter is the fulfillment. We'll talk about it next week. But I'm not saying that all these things didn't literally happen. Whether they happen or not is not what's important to us. A lot of this, though, comes with religious baggage, things we were taught. So perhaps it's best to set it aside for now. Look at what you were taught about Easter, but realize that there's something more to it. That, as Jane says in the video, we are made up of units of energy. We are units of energy, and Easter is an energy. And if Easter week exists energetically, then that energy can supercharge our energy unit. Jane says in the video, this universe vibrates on a very high level. This universe is vibrating, and you can pick up on that vibration. Your energy is lifting up, is moving, and is amplifying to vibrate on the same level as all the masters, including the master 2,000 years ago. And Jane asks, do you have any idea what that means? What does it mean for you? Your individual unit of vibration and energy is aligning with this higher vibration and then being amplified, energized, supercharged. Everything has vibration and energy. She talks about the stone has vibration and energy. Everything in the universe has vibration and energy. But the next level of energy beyond the human one that you've been existing on for many lifetimes is where you're headed. And that is the desire of your heart. Whether you're just desiring for peace of mind, that peace of mind can only come in your higher self that you're awakening to. That is the Easter energy in a nutshell, the desire of your heart for that something more. And you can catch the wave of this Easter energy process by being consciously aware of it this week and being your observer self, meditating every day, doing a little journaling. And it is a process. And just as that Easter week experience 2,000 years ago didn't end with Easter Sunday, that one-time event, but has continued to unfold and people are awakening all over the world and have been, and having deeper and deeper understandings. And oh yes, the world has got a lot of problems, but the deepening and the quickening of this experience 2,000 years ago continues to roll out, and your spiritual awakening will continue to roll out. It's a process. It's not an end result. You are a process. You are a process of unfoldment. That's what your soul is all about. You are a process. And this Easter week energy is supporting you in your process. And Jane says, I just want you to take advantage of it. But now, rather than just unconsciously going through it, you have the advantage of being conscious of it, and you can take advantage of it consciously. Jane describes this energy as a beautiful flow. And as you go through this week, you can feel this flow. And whether or not you're watching this video during Easter week, you still can allow the flow of this energy, which is beyond space and time, to move through you. The energy of Lent, the 40-day preparation time before Easter, has been working through you, whether you have been aware of it or not. Perhaps you made a commitment for Lent. Mine was to let go of judgment. And boy, did I get to see it. And I'm still being tested. And I know that my commitment, which was to let go of judgment because it was in the way of my Christ consciousness, my awakening, my awareness, the enlightenment energy, that I've been tested on it. And every so often, I've had to look at this, journal it, be aware of it, meditate, let it go. So, how have you been preparing for this Easter energy, whether consciously or unconsciously? The energy's coming in. Jane says it's super lightning fast, meaning it's got some punch. It brings in more vibration. It quickens your energy patterns. She calls it a potent energy. It's got power. It's got strength. I like to use the word oomph. It's got something that is moving you forward, but it does two things for you. It pushes you, and then it reveals your subconscious patterns, the things you've got to let go of. So if I make a commitment to let go of judgment, I get moved forward into that consciousness that does not judge. And then I get to see all that judgment in my subconscious, all those times that I think I'm better than those people and those people are wrong. And I feel judging by appearances about things, coming to conclusions, jumping to conclusions, all those things that I do. And they come up so that I can let them go. It's a powerful force. It's a powerful energy, and it shakes you to the very core of your being. But it allows for an unfoldment from within. It allows you to process what's coming up from your subconscious mind in a way that is quicker, that is more fluid, that is more flowing. It is a dynamic shift in how your energy functions. This is a dynamic shift that's happening. And every year you make a tremendous stride during Holy Week, Easter week. You just haven't necessarily been aware of it. But this year, you are really consciously attuning yourself to this process. Jane says, this white light is moving and shining in and through you. This light is moving and shining in and through you. Jesus said, you are the light of the world, and let your eye be single so that your whole body can be filled with light. This consciousness of light has been spoken of in all the world religions, and this light is shining forth, moving you as this Easter week energy. Your energy and your vibration is a searchlight. Your energy and your vibration is shining forth and drawing to yourself this greater light, this cosmic universal light. And your light is joining with all the other lights of all the people who have very primitive understandings and maybe going to church, all the people who don't believe in anything, all the people who are in alignment consciously with you, all of us in the Center for Enlightenment, at the level of our own ability to tap into and take advantage of it, consciously or unconsciously, we are all gathering this light together. And the frequency of your own light is aligning with the lights of all these other souls. And this group consciousness isn't just here on this video. This group consciousness is far beyond anything we can imagine. It is deeper, it is wider, it is higher, and it is beyond. Jane says, get ready because we are moving. Get ready as this week goes on because we are moving in consciousness. And this vibration has never been this strong on this planet before. This vibration has never been this potent, this energetic, this powerful. And she answers the question as to why hasn't it been here before? She says, why? Because we weren't ready for it. We were not ready for this energy because we hadn't been prepared. But now, even though we weren't ready for this type of push, this flow of this Easter energy, this Christ consciousness, humanity has prepared for it. Now, I know appearances don't always look very good, but that's because humanity lives in the opposites. But there is always this incredible progression happening, regardless of whether there's a war or whether there's peace, or whether there's prosperity or whether there's a setback economically, whether people are behaving well according to our judgment or not behaving well, because this energy does not exist in the opposites. It's beyond the opposites. And then the opposites shift out all the karma that needs to happen in order to move us forward. So we've got to get into the flow and let go of our judgments and unplug from the appearances of the world. And you are beginning to notice that you are moving faster. Every aspect of your being is moving now with a new rate, a new speed. And sometimes it's tricky to navigate that process. And the answer here is the observer self. Getting into your observer self, that part of you that stands back and looks at your internal experience and what's going on around you objectively in a detached way. You can journal, which is one of the most powerful ways to get in touch with your observer self, and start to notice what you're seeing here. Witness the patterns that you brought with you into this lifetime that are being triggered by the events around you, the situations in the world, and notice how you are being moved from one side of the opposites to the other over and over again all day. And start to write these things down, start to become aware of them. And instead of being batted about by the opposites, we can observe this. We can move beyond the opposites to the oneness of the now. The opposites will still happen, but we're witnessing them. You don't fight the fact that there are the opposites, but you observe them, you look at them, you witness them, and you let yourself be in that consciousness that is in the now, and you stop fighting yourself. You begin to notice that this is happening out here. It's a play, it's a movie, it's a script that's unfolding karmically in the opposites. And what happens is that you begin to cooperate and align with what is in the best interest of your soul. Both the positive and the negative sides of the opposites are part of that unfoldment, but you are not in that. That is not who you are. So there's euphoria and then there's tragedy. There are ups and there are downs, but it's not real. It's not reality with a capital R. It has appearance. We deal with it, we witness it, we observe it. But Jane says that is just an energy that needs to be dissipated. It needs to be worked through, just as Palm Sunday didn't last, Good Friday doesn't last, but Easter is that now moment unfoldment experience that all of this is leading up to. And the observer self helps us to manage to navigate this process of Easter week energy. You want to be in the constant flow, she says, detached from these opposites. Be in that flow. So the third dimension is the human dimension, the human consciousness, which is stuck in the mire of the earthly, stuck in that muck. And you're moving into the flow of the Christ consciousness, the fourth dimensional consciousness, which is this Easter week consciousness, which flows energetically. This is the higher vibration that everybody always talks about in religion and spirituality. This is what people talk about when they talk about light. So, this week, what are you doing to move beyond the limited consciousness of the third dimension and up into the fourth dimensional consciousness, the unlimited self, the unlimited consciousness? Do you take walks in nature? Do that this week. Or if you are not able to take walks in nature, put yourself in a position where you can see the natural surroundings. And don't get too hyped and don't get lost in your emotions. Just be and notice how it's reflecting to you who you are. Turn off the media a little bit. You can unplug completely from any triggering news broadcasts and allow yourself to experience the pristine nature of the energy of Easter week, the sweet nature of this energy, which can only be interfered with if we get caught up in the world. Define who you are in the middle of these opposites. Define yourself in the awareness, the observer self, being aware of the opposites. Jane said, I cannot make a good decision on either side of the opposites, so unplug from the opposites and witness them. Positive side, the negative side, just be. Just be in your heart. Your heart is one. It isn't in the opposites. It is one heart. It is oneness itself. Jane says there's a way out of the opposites, and that is recognizing that you live in the opposites and bringing yourself into the now, which is your heart energy. Again, Easter week experience is the piercing of the heart, Jerusalem meaning the heart, representing the heart, and it is a powerful piercing of the heart, which then brings forth that which we need to release, which leads up to the Easter experience itself. And so it's the desire of the heart that we're exercising on Palm Sunday that is leading to the commitment that gets tested on Good Friday. And that's part of the experience, letting go of everything that is unlike that love, that desire in our heart. Because as they say, love brings up whatever's in its way. And that leads to that now moment awareness that is an unfoldment of Easter. This will bring you into that consciousness that Jane calls clear think. It's being in that consciousness where you can see what you need to do and how to navigate your life in the best interest of your soul. So we are embracing that Easter energy. We're embracing that Easter week energy through our awareness of the desire of our heart, making a commitment, allowing that to move us through the testing, and then opening up with our will day by day as we go through the process of spiritual awakening. Let's watch Jane as she talks to us about how to begin this Easter week experience.
I am so excited because we're changing. We're vibrating at a new level. Our consciousness is moving. I am thrilled because we are moving together as a group. We are moving together as a cohesive energy force. Now let me explain that a little better to you. Energy, vibration. We are made up of units of energy. Our whole body temple is a unit of energy and light, power, strength, all the wonderful things that vibrate with this universe. This universe vibrates on a very high level, and we are moving to vibrate in the same vibrational level that all the masters on this planet vibrate on. Do you have any idea what that means? Well, if you don't, I'm going to tell you. So this is the way it goes. You are a unit of vibration and energy. Everybody on this planet, even the stone, is a vibration and energy. Fish, everybody, everything, every animal, everything has a vibration and energy. The moon has a vibration and energy. The sun, wow, we can see that. We know that it vibrates and it shines on us and supports us. Well, the Easter energy that's here upon us, I want to talk to you about how to take advantage of it. And I know you want to take advantage of it because it is a beautiful flow. We have been working for 40 days to prepare our body temple to take on this energy. We have made commitments to our meditations. We have made commitments to read certain things. We have all done certain things in preparation for Easter energy. So, let me talk to you a moment more about the Easter energy. You can see it's super fast. It is very fast and it's potent. It's very potent. And since you are vibrating at a certain energy field, when this super energy comes in, what it does is it pushes us faster. It reveals things to us quicker, and we are able to respond to that subconscious that's below the surface in a more conscious way. So embracing that energy force, and it's a force of energy. It's a powerful force of energy, and it will shake, rattle, and roll your energy field. Now, when I say shake, rattle, and roll, I mean shake, rattle, and roll, and I'm not kidding about this. Because when you come up against that force, and it is a force of energy, it pushes you further and faster. But the good news is, with that force pushing you faster, you're going to be able to process the things you need to process in a quicker way, a faster way, a dynamic way. I need to use a big word here. Yes, it's like a hose. I was out in my backyard sprinkling my flowers with my hose, and it trickles along and it sprinkles do. Well, picture me with my hose, and it was a fire hose. You know, those big things that the power rips through and it puts out flames and makes you safe. Well, this energy is like the fire hose. It's powerful, and it will energize everything in your body temple. I want you to look at this little poster that I have here. This is the energy field, the conscious vibration body temple that you are in. You are in this white light. This white light is shining in and through you. We are a body of light. You are the light of the world. Your light lights your world. And when all the lights get together on the same frequency, so much more happens, because there is this group of like-minded souls moving in consciousness, opening up of the door of their consciousness to take a bigger step in their total awareness. So get ready, because we're moving. We're moving quickly. And all the masters and all the help on this planet and all the out-of-body teachers and all those that have gone before us are supporting us. This is a new vibrational energy that hasn't been on our planet until now. Why? Because we weren't ready for it. We were not ready mentally, emotionally, spiritually ready for this type of push. We are now. We are now. This is our hour to shine. It is our hour to put ourselves in the flow of the Christ energy. The flow of that. When you're in the Christ energy, what happens is you move faster, quicker in every aspect of your life. Every aspect, if you are the observer of this. Now, we've been working very hard to become wonderful observers of ourselves, seeing our patterns, seeing the problems that we make for ourselves, seeing us on the one side of the opposite and then on the other side of the opposite. And trying to take ourselves to that 0 point, that point where we are in the now moment rather than in the opposite moment fighting ourselves, or in this other moment where we're happy and euphoric that only lasts for maybe an hour, maybe 6 hours, maybe for 2 days, but it dissipates because it's not real. It is not real. Any more than the horrors of your subconscious on the opposite scale, where you are angry, upset, frustrated. That's just an energy that needs to be dissipated, as well as the good and the bad, because you want to be in the flow, in the constant flow, detached from this third dimensional world that grabs you up and shakes you around and pushes you from one side to the other all day long. You cannot get free from it because it's part of the third dimension. But Christ consciousness, the Christ energy, the higher vibration can support you in moving out of the limitations of the third dimension and the opposites. We can get caught up in the opposites so quickly, and that's why you had to become observer of yourself when you were in the opposites. And we've been practicing this and practicing it and working on it because it's so important that you are able to define yourself in the opposites. That's the only way you're going to get out of them, is to see that, oh, I'm in an opposite, and that opposite is drowning me. Good or bad, it's drowning me. I need to make wise decisions for myself. I can't make any good decisions on either side of the opposites, even for the good, because you're all pumped up. Oh, I can do anything. Or, oh, I can't do a thing. Life is very hard, and there's no way for me to get free. Oh, I am magnificent, and I can do all kinds of wonderful things. I'm going to go out and do something wonderful. And within the hour, you may be right back in the other part of you. No, I can't. It's impossible. How can I get out of this mess I put myself into? Well, there's a way out. There is a way out. And that way out is to recognize that you live in the opposites. Every single moment of the day you are in an opposite. And it's up to you to decide which side of the opposite you're going to be in. And bring yourself to the now, to that moment in time when you have clear think. You can think clearly about where you are and what you're doing.
More than anything else, Easter week is a consciousness. Easter week is a vibration. And the process of Easter week is awakening your consciousness and changing your consciousness at depth. What you're experiencing is you're catching the wave of the energy of the Easter week experience. And it pushes you, as your observer self reveals to you your subconscious so that you can let it go. So this is an exciting and powerful week. This is the year where you are conscious of this process. We invite you to bring your conscious awareness on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern to our question and answer support group. That's Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You see the link in the chat room. It's also on the website. And we also invite you to support the Center for Enlightenment. And that link is in the chat room and also on the website, so that we can continue to do this work of unfolding the awakening of the consciousness of humanity. So let's embrace this Easter week energy together.